Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another repair diagnosis test video on a 2010 Ford Mustang 4.6 instrument cluster. The customer complaint is that the medium bus is not working properly. They got some lights coming on the instrument cluster that they wanted me to test, make sure everything is either problem on the cluster or something else. This is a local shop here in Virginia and also subscribers to the YouTube channel. All right, as usually, let me show you how I get information. For those that wanted to know, I use most of the times, or yeah, probably 95% of the times, I use Identifix. So this is direct hit Identifix. You can subscribe with them. They got really good information if you're looking for. So I go over to different locations on mostly wire diagrams, and I use for this the original information. So what I usually like to do that is because when you're using the OEM part of the diagrams in Identifix, and I think also in old data, let's say right here you got a partial. Every time you have a dotted line around anything on a wire diagram, that means it's just a partial. So I can click in here. That will give me the location of the connector, or in here I can see the connector itself. Like right here it says C220. I can get the location or the connector face, which is very handy because it gives me the pinouts of the connector on the instrument cluster, which is that's exactly what we're looking at in there. So I go ahead and do my homework and save the information. So I got cluster one. I name it myself. So in the case of what I'm concerned, like testing on this cluster, concern is the medium CAN bus. So we can see here I'm going to move the mouse so you can see the hand in there. So we got the medium CAN, which is in pins 25 and 26, and we got the high-speed CAN on pins 12 and 13. We got also the pads communication, which I'm, not concerned on this. And we got just one ground and two powers. One is hot all the times, and then the ignition. All right, so this is pretty easy as far as making this cluster come to life. It's no problems of our gauges, so that's not my concern this time. Just communication. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my oscilloscope, which I already got rigged out here on the OBD connector, 4 channels and high speed. Two channels on the high speed and 2 channels on the on the medium speed, so we can see that. So again, this is the connector for the cluster. Information from Identifix. This is OEM information from Ford. I'm just going to leave it a little bit in there and here so you guys can see everything else that is in there. I again have this cluster one. I save it over to my files with customer's name and VIN number. The DLC connector, just normally save it just to make sure every pin is on the same location. And I can also see the speed network. I save that in here so we can see the instrument cluster in here has again pins 25 and 26 that goes the negative, let's say, medium speed CAN low will go to pin 11, and the medium speed CAN positive or high will go to pin 3. And that's how I have this time disconnected. All right, so in order to get access to communication, you need to have something else attached to it. And in this case, I'm using my scanner to make sure that, oh, I actually just accidentally hit the PCM. That's going to be a no communication. So we go to the instrument panel. And as we can see here, I can go over to live data, and that's going to give me um, either an error or communication or no. Like in this case, it's no error of communication because, we are connected to it. And that's all I care as far as here. I can also do an active test. Most likely I will be able to do a sweep test. Let me see, fuel gauge indication control, high beam, turn signal. So we have a lot that we can do here. Temperature gauge, press the cancel button if no is not needed. Yeah, I don't need to cancel, to get any PIDs for that. So Let's see the temperature gauge increase. Yeah, we can see that report in there perfectly. So we can check every single gauge in here. I'm going to decrease it. And also we can check every single gauge and stuff like that. We can check all the lamps and everything. This is very nice from this setup. Um, Again, my concern or the customer concern is communication. So I already have well, for those who wants to know, that's my ride. I love that car. I'm very happy with it. I got this like 2 years ago. It's just a ride. I love it. All right, so communication wise, we got a high speed network and a medium speed network. The upper one is the medium speed and the lower one is the high speed network. Make sure I do it or saying that right. Make sure, let me see. 6 and 11. I will have to look into the pins. So green channel and yellow channel are on this side. One, two, three. Actually, might be backwards. Let me just double check that 1 second, guys. Um, well, either way, what we can see here is that we got good speed in both, and that's what one thing that I want to disregard. Either one is the faster and the other one is the slowest. It looks like this is faster, so I will say that this is the can high and this is the can sorry, the fastest speed and this is the lowest speed. Because if we are going to get this, that's 1 millisecond, we can see that this one we can barely see it, and this one we have more detail. This is a lower speed bus. That's a faster speed bus. So that's what we got here. So I can just go the opposite way. So again, that's probably too much. That's 100 nanoseconds of speed. I'm going to stop this so we can analyze what I already have here. So again, if this is the lowest speed, we can see that we have red channel and blue channel. So red channel is going from 1.5 to 2.5, and then the blue channel is going from 2.5 to 4 volts, which is a healthy communication. We can see almost the same thing on the high speed can. It's going from 1.2 to 2.6, and then from 2.6 to 2.5 to 4 volts. And that's all depends on where I put, actually at the end, sorry, the cursors, but it's activity on both. Both networks are running the same. I had no drops out. How I know which one is faster than the other one? The same thing that I was telling before. See, in order for me to get access to see that higher channel in there, I had to go really fast, like 50 microseconds. In the other one, I can still see it good if I change the trigger over to channel A. We can see that, we lost the one on the tab because it's just faster than this one. Okay, so again, I don't see anything wrong with the cluster. Everything is working good. I'm going to just, as normal, let it be for a while in here, but his concern is losing communication, and that is not in the cluster. I can talk to the cluster, I can communicate, and both can buses are active and good. Nothing is wrong. Usually, when you have a problem with a resistor, terminating resistor, let me get rid of all those lines and put this back into C so we can see that a lot better. Hopefully, yeah. So whenever you got a problem on a network that has a problem with a terminating resistor or short to power or short to ground, you're obviously going to see that immediately here, and that's not the case. As you can see here, we got a very beautiful, clean waveform in both networks. It's definitely not a problem in here. These are redundant networks, so if one of the pairs or one of the lines get a problem, as long as the other one still has the communication, it will work. So again, this is just a test for 2010 Ford Mustang I show you how to communicate. I'm using again my breakout box. I got that from Wakesy, and I just put a power cord that goes into my simulator just for powers and grounds, and I usually use it just in case I need to, provide a crank sensor signal or a temperature sensor signal. In this case, it's not necessary because the scanner has full control of on the medium speed bus to move the gauges and everything. So that's one test that I wanted to do, because if it would be a problem like that, the fast speed network is for high communication during the car driving for ABS speed, speed on the car, RPMs and warnings are the warnings are most of the time in the medium speed CAN bus, and so is the test in here. So we got no issues with that. All right, guys. Hopefully this is helpful for somebody that is having some issues in here, and this is how you can test the networks on the cluster. You can either go like I have here. Since just got the cluster connected to this breakout box, I can just go over there and test the buses. All right, guys. See you next time. Have a good weekend, and Thanksgiving very close to us. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and stay safe. Bye bye.